How you doing? You okay?
Yeah, really well. How are you?
Very good, thank you. Yeah, great, thanks. It's been a busy week, but it's all good. So that's a very good thing.
Well,
Look,
we got
thank
lots
you.
of exciting things to talk about.
Definitely, we do indeed. Huge thanks for joining us. Really appreciate you joining this Instagram live. What I'm going to do is just quickly go through a bit of a format. Before I do that, actually, I just want to say, for everyone that's joining on this Instagram live, I'm super excited that you're here. I know Rom is as well. It's something that we've been, this CFO marketplace has been something that we've been working on for a number of months. So really excited today. And this is it. We are launching the CFO marketplace with Juggle Jobs, in partnership. It's an exclusive thing for our Accountancy Cloud customers. And what's fantastic about this is for our customers, you'll be able to gain access to flexible part-time CFOs. These are people that are senior finance professionals that can add value to your business. So really excited about that. I truly believe that this is a game changer. So I hope you do too after, listening to us and listening to us speak basically and seeing us as well. So what we're going to cover today, it's going to be short and sharp, nice and succinct. Both myself and Ron, we're going to introduce ourselves. I think that's got to be first priority. And then we're going to go through how it works. And also we're going to cover off some frequently asked topics. So what's really great about this is I know that our customers are getting really excited about this. So they sent through some pre-written questions. So we'll go through those as well. Now, if there's anything at all that we haven't covered in this Instagram live, by all means, contact us, via the normal channels, right? So contact myself or Rob. Will be happy to either jump on a call or answer your questions at any point. Okay. I hope that's clear, guys. Okay from your end, Ron?
Perfect. Can't wait.
Great stuff. Cool. So just going to introduce myself. I'm Wesley Rashid. I'm the CEO and co-founder of the Accountancy Cloud. Accountancy Cloud is a modern accounting service that improves your financial visibility. We're different in three ways. One, every business gets access to a professional accountant that is dedicated to you and will learn the ins and outs of your business, as well as help you manage the books. Second of all, that accountant is backed up by a team of engineers. Those engineers look at pain points in the accounting process and builds technology for it. So it could be, a problem with categorization or something more complex like revenue recognition. They're there really to solve those pain points, to enhance the customer experience and also deliver real-time financials so you can make decisions day to day. And then thirdly, we're different because we're just like you, right? We're in it together. We're a startup ourselves. We know exactly the sort of challenges that you're going through, and we're super passionate about helping startups and small to medium-sized businesses. So that's me. Ron, go for it.
I love all of those things about you guys. You're just super modern, really get the basics right, really leverage technology, and but just never compromise on quality. So they got to Accountancy Cloud. Quick intro from me. So my name is Romanie Thomas. I'm the founder and CEO of Juggle. Our full name is Juggle Jobs, and that's what we help people do. So we are a skills talent marketplace with a focus on flexible working. And finance is one of our major verticals. So CFOs, finance directors, they might have family and need to balance family responsibilities. A lot of our FDs are quite literally juggling jobs. And I guess the finance function, apart from technology, is so mature when it comes to technology. So a really good tech-focused FD can put in a bunch of like automated processes and really maximize their time. And that's why the kind of fit between the two companies felt really good. So I'm super excited for this. It just feels there's a lot of synergy here.
Yeah, great stuff. Okay, let's dive right in. Let's talk about how it works. So certainly from an Accountancy Cloud perspective, what you're able to do, it's super simple. Inside the Accountancy Cloud platform, you'll be able to contact directly one of our customer success specialists. And so what they will do is simply you'll book a call with them. They'll jump into a meeting with you. Won't take more than 15, 20 minutes or so. And basically they'll focus on two things. One, they'll gather the scope of your work. So these are your requirements. So do you need someone to help you manage your budget or build a forecast, right? That could be a requirement. Second of all, the focus will be on the frequency of that support. So do you need someone, 1 day a week, 2 days a week, maybe more in an event of a fundraise? All right, they will scope out those two different requirements. And then once we've got a good handle of what you need, and remember, you'll be one of our customers, so we know you very well. We'll pass that information on to Juggle and let them do the rest effectively, right? So Juggle, from your side, Ron?
Yeah, so I think you guys do, and as you said, you do a lot of the scoping already, which when it comes to hiring is half the battle. It sounds so obvious, but once you have a much clearer idea of exactly what your business priorities are, then you can build up that role profile against that. So I guess we just take it to the next level. We have built a full end-to-end self-serve platform. So if you're like me and you actually don't really like getting on the phone or talking to anyone, you can quite literally log onto the platform, sign up for an account, post a job, you get a list of candidates pretty much straight away, and then you can schedule interviews using our scheduling software. You'll be reminded to provide interview feedback, and you can make offers, sign contracts, and pay people through the platform. But we also do have a human element to Juggle as well. I think hiring, particularly at this level, it can be more of a relationship game as well. So we do have talent specialists on hand who kind of take the scoping that Wesley mentioned there and just really nail down what your priorities are, because we have 7,000 great finance professionals on the platform, but obviously we need to understand which specific community to tap into to get the right candidates over to you. And what we found is that kind of blended solution of human plus a streamlined technology approach is just sped up the hiring process. So most of our customers hire this role within 1 week, making it a really fast turnaround.
Yeah, great. And I really love the fact that, some of the archaic processes in the recruitment process, you built technology for that to try and make the customer experience super seamless. So I really like that. I think that's a really great thing that you're definitely onto a great thing there for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I'll just want to add, a lot of our customers, we work with hundreds of startups and small to medium-sized business owners, and we really get to the under the skin of what the pain points are, right? And actually, this is a good tag into or a link into the origin story of why are we doing this in the first place, right? And then last year, challenging year for everyone. We spoke to our customers very intensely. We basically had our customer success specialists phone almost every one of our customers up. And it was very clear that the trends that were coming out of the conversations were that, this need for more strategic support, someone that can add value to their business whilst still being affordable and cost effective, really meant that something like this, a CFO marketplace where they can tap into flexible part-time talent, could actually really make a difference to their business. And this could be at any stage, right? This could be, a business that is potentially scaling up super fast, or, a company that is just trying to manage, their work, and they need that extra sort of strategic, more senior insight, right, into their financials to get good finance hygiene. So, this is something that is definitely needed, and yeah, really great to have Juggle Jobs in partnership with us as well.
Yeah,
so Yeah, sorry.
I was just gonna add from our side. I think we share a lot of the same customer segment in the startup space, and getting really high quality accounting support is tough. Like, people who understand the rhythm of funding rounds and R&D tax credits and all of those little quirks that come with being in often funded startups where you're trying to do something new. And a lot of requests that we were having from CFOs and FDs were, who do you guys know on the accounting side that is really good? And we only really had one solid recommendation to give them.
Great stuff. Great stuff. Cool. So let's go on to the frequently asked topics. I've got one for you. First one, how does Juggle Jobs source expert CFOs for Accountancy Cloud?
Yeah, that's a really good question. It's a number of different avenues, but we very much leverage the community that we've built already. So Juggle has over 13,000 professionals, of which 7,000 are finance professionals. So we kind of talk to them first, because like personal recommendations are always the best. But we do go out to the market as well. So we do kind of traditional advertising. I guess the edge that we have is that we are a flexible platform, and it's not gig work, right? These people are generally building long-term relationships with companies. It's just over a kind of part-time or remote period. So we do have a competitive edge over other companies that are generally offering kind of traditional ways of working. And what we found is we're able just to get, really high quality talent for less. The gender diversity split is very strong as well. So yeah, that side is pretty good.
Great stuff. Cool. Second question here is actually for us. So what is Accountancy Cloud certified? One thing we are conscious of is ensuring that you've got the right talent, in your business. So an Accountancy Cloud certified pro, right, or a part-time CFO, is where it's framing it here. They have to have industry experience. They have to have the appropriate qualifications. And most importantly, they have to have shown that they have the track record to actually, take you to the next level. That's really, really key. And if they don't have that, then unfortunately, we will be stewards of you and making sure that that recruitment doesn't take place. So that's what it means. It's measured on those three things. And they obviously have to tick those boxes before you actually go ahead and make your hire of that flexible CFO. Okay. There's another question for me. So why did you choose Juggle Jobs to partner with this service? You know what? I think proof is in the pudding. We're a customer of Juggle, right? I think we were one of the earlier adopters. We very much are champions for sort of flexible working cultures and people that come into the business that are senior, that can work on a flexible basis, so we know that it works. But equally, this is a very customer-centric kind of product that we're offering our customers. It's something that our customers are effectively asking us for, but we have to be cost conscious as well. Not everyone has the budget to hire someone, in-house full time. And so this is really a solution that kind of works for everyone. So I think it really is a win-win. Yeah, and that's why we partnered with Juggle Jobs, right? Alongside we've seen it in action. It's solving a real problem, and also, you've got to just have a go. I can't recommend them enough.
Thank you.
So next question here is, at what stage in my business should I consider introducing a CFO? So I think I suggest that we answer this. I'll provide my viewpoint, and then also your viewpoint from what you see, when you're kind of recruiting CFOs into other businesses as well. So really, I think it can be any stage. It genuinely could. I think that probably if you're probably going to be too early for a CFO if, let's say, you've just incorporated your company. All right, I think that's just like common sense. Your first 6 months is going to be you trying to just ensure you've got the right processes set up for your company. You know, you register for your taxes, ensure you've got a good routine with your bookkeeping. So probably at that point, you're not going to get a lot of value from a CFO, right? That's going to come into your business, because they're really there to provide sort of operational and financial rigor, and to be more focused on the sort of strategic elements of helping you scale your business. So when you get to that point, so you could be say a seed stage company, or you could be a more established business, and you really want that support in terms of, you know, just some examples, as I mentioned earlier. Do you need help with a budget or a forecast, or do you need help in preparation for a fundraise? Those are great examples to go out and find, you know, a flexible part-time CFO. I don't think at this stage, particularly if you're in a startup stage, you necessarily need someone full-time straight off the bat. You can make a lot of mistakes when you do that. So this is the least risk approach, you could say, because it's flexible on your terms. So that's my take on it. How about you, Ron? What do you typically see when you're recruiting into startups and SMEs? What kind of size of business are they usually?
So I think starting with the if I focus on the startups, you know, even super early stage, like from 8 to 20 people, I guess like seed to Series A. We tend to see founders fall into two camps. One is the very, very sort of finance literate people. Maybe they've come from the financial services world, management accountancy, where like knocking up spreadsheets and looking at numbers is very much, you know, part of their day to day. And the non-finance founders, you know, who are financially literate, but they are perhaps come from a product background or a sales background, or even a technical background, which is quite common. Interestingly, we see people in that camp. I think they get this right because they know that they can't do it, or they can't do it well. So they try and get someone on board, and reasonably heavyweight straight away. And the hands-on element within a startup is always important. So it's not like a super just pure strategy CFO. That's just never going to happen, right? It's someone who can get into the weeds as well. What we do notice is that the people who come from more of a finance background struggle because they kind of want to own that for as long as possible. But the reality is, for a founder, you need to be maximizing your time to be building the revenue, building the product, building the team, not on the kind of more, I guess, day-to-day financial operational side things. And you do also need a sounding board to make sure that your assumptions around the model, for example, are correct. And somebody who has seen different business models. So that's kind of, that's roughly what we see. And you know, just to add on that, I think a common mistake we do see across both camps is they try to underhire. So instead of hiring for a finance director, they get someone much more junior on board, because they're feeling the pain of perhaps credit control or, you know, cash flow, whatever it is, and just general paperwork, right, which we both know is so extensive in the founder role. And the reality is, you need experienced people who know their job. They're not going to be learning on the job, and can scale with you. So that's another common mistake, is underhiring rather than overhiring.
Oh, great. And I just want to extend that. You're probably not going to get a lot of value from a senior flexible hire if you've got them, you know, managing the books for you, you know, like, you know, trying to operate Xero or those kind of products, right? They're there to provide, you know, an impact in your business. Kind of they could be, you know, a C-suite kind of person that's been there and done that before. And so, like, really partnering with the CEO is kind of the key. They can often act as a sounding board, right? But, you know, we've got to recognize that a lot of founders, they're non-finance people, right? So actually just managing money, optimizing your burn rate, you know, if you're a startup, or looking at different revenue streams and, you know, potential market opportunities. Those are the sorts of things that you'll you know, leverage a CFO for, right? So a great example is a company that's that's just completed a Series A round, right? For if you're a tech startup, for instance, all right, you just landed, you know, you're in execution mode, and you need that financial rigor, CFO can certainly offer you that. So that's just an example, but that's my point of view for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Slightly more technical is probably one for you, Rom, is how do you arrange hours with CFOs?
That's a really good question. And I think it's something that we're learning, post-pandemic, well, almost post-pandemic, hopefully, and beyond, in that we still measure time, we still measure how people work through time. And that is actually the most effective way. I think we are starting to move to more of an outcome-based model, but actually for finance directors, you kind of need a lot of items from them. So it works when you know how they're working. That being said, the most successful engagements that we've seen are where the CEO and the CFO tend to work quite closely together in prioritizing outcomes, whether you're going through a funding round, right? I'm going to hand this, like the due diligence side of this to do, and the end date is here. Because for a flexible CFO, they'll take their responsibility pretty seriously, but you need to also give them quite a lot of flexibility, like don't micromanage them. A good example of this is we have an FD in our business and we're going through an investment round at the moment, but we're also in the middle of the homeschooling situation, right? It's a total nightmare, and he's got a young daughter. So I just said to him, I know that he takes that deadline super seriously, and I just know that he'll get stuff done. And he's supposed to work with us on set days, but I also know that that's not realistic if maths homework comes up or whatever. So I think when that happens, one just has to really trust that the outcome is there. And keep the communication really regular. And with him, he's an absolute superstar. But if anything is slipping for whatever reason, you've already kind of pre-agreed what the outcome is going to be, and you can have a very open conversation about why things are slipping. But generally, with good people, they will preempt that and let you know what they can and can't do, because they'll know how to prioritize.
Great stuff. Really, really helpful. Thanks for that, Rom. Just got another question come in. It's so I'm at seed stage of my business. Do I need a CFO? We kind of answered that previously, but let me just drill down on this a little bit further, right? Because let's face it, each business is different, so it is very much on a case-by-case basis. If you it goes down to the point, if you've just raised a round of funding, you're looking to scale up, and you're a non-finance person, and you need that financial and operational rigor. You need help with managing your cash flow. That's a really good chance for you to gain access to a flexible CFO. It doesn't need to be 3-4 days a week. It could be 1 or 2 days a week, for instance. If you're pre-revenue, right? I'm just giving you an example, but if you're pre-revenue, you're still at that stage, where you're trying to set things up, appropriately. Seed stage rounds these days, they tend to be for all sorts of businesses these days, and they tend to be quite large as well. Then at that stage, you might not quite be ready. So it is really on a case-by-case basis. I don't know if I think you've sort of answered that your perspective in a previous question, but have you got anything to add there, Ron?
Yeah, I would just add, what could you unlock in terms of your time? This is a good question to ask yourself. What could you unlock in terms of your time if you weren't doing all of those finance items, right? Because it's an easy trap to fall into at an early stage. Like, you don't perhaps have loads of money coming in, you need to be relatively frugal, but actually, if you were maximizing for upside, if you were thinking we could build this product roadmap faster, we could drive revenue faster, my mind would be unlocked for partnerships and all sorts of other opportunities. And as Wesley said, the flexible FD is a good opportunity to get that strategic help in, particularly if you're planning another fundraise. If you're at seed stage, I'm assuming that you're thinking about your business in terms of funding rounds, then that strategic support could be invaluable. But as you said, it's a case-by-case basis.
Yeah, certainly. And certainly at seed stage, you're still trying to manage your costs. I remember we're a partner with you, along the way. I think I saw something in the Instagram feed saying, is this for exclusive to Accountancy Cloud customers? Yes, it is. This is Accountancy Cloud customers only. So join us, come and join the the bandwagon here at the Accountancy Cloud. We would love to be working with you. We've got a great question come in actually from someone from your team, Rom. Is it okay to have a CFO that works for other companies too?
Yeah, I mean, this is a question that comes up a lot. I think this is a judgment call, right? If it is a direct competitor, and it would be very odd if your CFO is not flagging that, quite frankly, then that's almost certainly a no. But what we found is people who work with different companies, they just learn much faster. They're getting exposed to lots of different business models, to a lot of different scenarios. So instead of having this linear career where you learn this in 4 years, they're getting that exposure right now. So personally, we've only seen it as a benefit.
Great stuff. Great stuff. Yeah, really, really good stuff. So I've got this last question here. So how exactly would a CFO affect my experience with Accountancy Cloud? So look, we work with a number of businesses. We work with hundreds of startups and SMEs. This is like an add-on. This is an improvement of the experience of the Accountancy Cloud. So what you will expect is very much the highest standard of quality when it comes to managing your accounting, managing your bookkeeping, and your year end. That we've got a proven track record of. With the addition of the CFO, you're getting that strategic and financial operational support that you would pay an arm and a leg for. Basically, you're getting someone who is a senior finance professional in your work, that's vetted, both from a Juggle Jobs perspective and from an Accountancy Cloud perspective. So there are big synergies in what a CFO does and what the Accountancy Cloud will do for you. And so what the reason why I say this is a game changer is that through the Accountancy Cloud we are really offering sort of an end-to-end service. Right the way from getting stuck into the weeds, the financial weeds, sort of managing your books, right the way through to offering you someone who's a senior finance professional that is a flexible CFO that can add value to your business in a number of different ways. So hopefully that answers your question. Great. So I've done a lot of waves to people on the Instagram feed, which is very cool because it's like my first Instagram live on this. But I don't think I have any more questions. Is there anything else that you'd like to add there, Ron?
No, I think we've really covered everything. Just excited to get started. I think we've already got our first customer, haven't we? And loads more to come.
Certainly, yeah, definitely. So look, thanks everyone for joining. I'm super excited about this, as you can tell, and thanks for joining us. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to contact either of us. Have a great week. Take care.
Awesome. Thanks. Bye bye.